What is up, everybody? Jeff is having technical difficulties apparently, so as we get him going here, what is up, everyone? Appreciate everyone hopping on. Of course, Jeff, we still cannot see you. I don't know what's going on here, but
What do you mean you can't see me? I can see me just
there
fine.
you go. Now you're on here.
Hi. What's up? All right, a little bit of a faux pas. I don't know why the hell that did that when we were still on the screen. Usually, when you do this, the intro
It
like
goes
that,
away.
I don't.
Yeah,
Unless it's the format,
probably.
because that intro's basically made for doing a
The
vertical.
vertical.
But we want to do a live draft tonight with the chat, so we wanted to go big screen. I didn't want to go tiny little
Yeah, it makes sense.
telephone, cell phone screen, so that way everybody can read it with no problem. So I guess the first thing is, finally some news out of Raiders camp here. Geno Smith is now officially under contract. So we got him for 3 years, basically, is what it comes down to. He signed a 2-year contract plus this year already. So he's our QB for at least 3 years. That's how you got to look at it.
Mm.
I didn't look at the dollar amount. I don't care about the dollar amount. Whatever, it is what it is. It's just that now we've got him, we're secured now for at least the next 2 to 3 years. What's your feeling on that?
Yeah, I mean, I like it, to be honest. We knew that obviously Geno was going to be our quarterback for at least this year, but now we extend him another 2 years, and we give him the same timeline as Pete Carroll, which we were all kind of expecting already. So here it is, right here. Reported by Ian Rappaport, 2-year, $85.5 million extension. I think that's around like 45 a year or something like that AAV for the extension. And yeah, I mean, I like it. That puts him, I think I've seen somewhere around like 15 to 17 for the highest paid quarterbacks.
For like the rankings and shit. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, that's exactly where I think he's probably about talent wise as well. Probably a little bit higher, to be honest. So this is a little bit of a better deal for the Raiders. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a good deal for the Raiders. It gives us our quarterback for the next 3 years. This one coming and then the 2 years extended. It kind of plays with with what we think that happens in the draft now. So all of the Shador fans over here, I've seen a lot of people saying like, "Hey, maybe we don't go towards a quarterback in the first round now that we're paying all this money for Geno Smith." I don't know. Obviously, there's a lot going on with the Raiders. So the draft is, like we've been saying for a while, going to be super important and very interesting as Raider fans. But one other thing I wanted to bring up was this one here. Hold on, let me make this bigger. Where is this at?
I just saw that too. Actually, I was just reading that one.
Oh, it doesn't.
Posted that in the chat, I think, didn't you?
Yeah. Apparently, I can't play the video for some reason. I don't know why it's doing it. Where's it at? Oh, here it is.
Can't hear it.
Hold on. My bad. Is it showing? I didn't know if it was showing or not.
It was showing, but you couldn't hear it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's do it again then.
Still can't hear it.
Can't hear it?
Nope. No sound.
No sound? Okay. That's all right. Yep. Basically, what he's saying is that right here, this almost clinches the fact that the Las Vegas Raiders will bypass a quarterback in the first round. And I just thought that was rather interesting. As far as everybody wanting Shador, everybody wanting to pick up a quarterback rather early, now it kind of shakes up, like it whittles down the prospects even more so, because people that are wanting Shador if he's still available. I think that I knew Leo was going to say this, and I had already a rebuttal for that. That Adam Schefter said also that we're going to sign Ben Johnson, and that doesn't negate the fact that he is still one of the most respected and probably the best NFL insider that says for almost every single report is almost true. The fact that he got one wrong with it happens to be with us, and it happens to be with us. Obviously, it rubs us the wrong way. So I get it, but like he's basically 9 for 10. Like that doesn't it doesn't like I'm gonna trust his insider reports more so than other people. So if he says it, obviously I'm gonna listen. I'm not gonna take it as Bible, but I'm going to think about it more so than if somebody else had said it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Don't let Leo get into your head.
No, I knew as soon as I'm surprised he didn't say it in our chat, to be honest. But yeah, I already had something for it. I knew he was gonna say something like that.
Well, let's do this first before we go any further here. Let's just get to the chat because, as everybody knows, chat lives matter.
Sir.
So here we go first. Sacktown Mike's in the house. What's going on? Checking in with Where's the Flag?
What up? Where's the flag?
PNW Mark, what's up, brother? How we doing? Jason Downs in the house. Fakasi's showing up tonight. What's up, brother? How you
what
doing?
Up, AR? Appreciate
We're playing
you.
Marvel in a little while after this, so
yeah, get ready,
you're
dog.
available. Make sure you be ready. Let's see. 805's in the house. What's going on?
What
brother?
up, 805? Appreciate you.
There's Leo. Yeah, my guy Nate. Next upcoming IG model. That's right.
Stay tuned.
He's going to be wearing a Raiders thong for every any banana hammock lovers out there. There you go. Yeah, here we go. The slander with my boy. Yeah.
Who's
Jeff,
coming.
how's your Jeff coming along? I didn't get a chance to read this. He sent me a bunch of stuff on Instagram, some YouTube videos, and
how to play, how to use him, like
what's the tips and tricks with him? So
got you. Oh, that's dope.
I got to definitely. I'm learning as I go. I feel as though I'm doing okay with them.
Oh yeah, you gotten better for sure. So
I don't mind playing as the healer. I'm actually getting kills with him too, which is impressive. So I'll
nice.
take that as a bonus. Those of you that don't know what we're talking about, it's the Marvel Rivals game that we've all been streaming and playing.
Yeah, it's fun.
Ton of fun.
So much fun.
Let's see. Leo Chef also said we were about to sign Ben Johnson before he signed with the Bears. Remember that? Yep. There's an R before that. Member. Remember, not member. Bust his balls. Y'all bust your balls. It also doesn't make what he says gold. Absolutely. Happens multiple times. Yep. Who else we have? Frank Webb is in the house. What's up, brother?
What up? What
up?
Val,
what's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a little while. How you been? Oh, that we've been playing Marvel Rivals. Yeah, dude, you ought to get it, man. Yeah, unless you already have it, it's fun as hell. I'm having.
It's free too, bro. So it'll be easy.
And I play it on PC off of Steam, and I'm keyboard and mouse in that. I ain't using no joystick on that because it's
nice.
Basically, it's like a third-person shooter. It's just easy to use it that way.
I might have to get it on Steam too.
Yeah, Dixon Carter, what's up, brother? Dixon Cider. I don't know where I got Carter from. But all right, so now my question now, and I know Leo and Rundown just had their show finish about 40 minutes to an hour ago, and they were talking about there's still the possibility of the Raiders grabbing Shador at number 6. I mean, if again, I've said this before, I don't want them, but if that's what the Raiders do, I'm gonna have to stand by it. And I mean, I'm gonna still. It's not like I'm gonna be like, well, I quit following the team. Fuck this, and I'm out of here. I'm still gonna be here. Am I gonna badmouth them? No, I'm not gonna badmouth them. But I will say it better. it better work out if we're wasting or not wasting if we're using a number 6 overall draft pick on him. That's my
Yeah.
take. I don't know your exact feeling on that, Nate. If you
Yeah,
feel any different.
I think it just makes more sense now more than ever since the extension that we build the team around Geno, considering that we only have Geno and Pete Carroll for a limited amount of time, and we're trying to
Mm-hmm.
compete as quickly as possible. I think using that 6 overall draft pick on a person that is going to have to wait doesn't and wouldn't immediately impact the team. It just doesn't really make that much sense, especially if we're not in love with him. I mean, obviously we don't know how the Raiders feel about Shedeur Sanders, but I know I've seen reports that not a lot of teams are extremely high on him. So I'm just going off what I see, of course. So I think getting someone that can impact the team now is more important than having to get somebody that we're going to have to wait on. So that's just kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, I'm seeing a lot more mock drafts now where Shador's fallen way past number 6.
Mm-hmm.
And most of these so-called experts are picking us to take fucking Genty, which another one that blows my mind.
Yeah.
You know, now everybody's all going gaga over the fact that Spytek went to Boise's pro day and he took him out to lunch and slapped him on the bum before he left and gave him a hug and all this
That's
other
fine with
bullshit.
me.
He sent him roses to his house or whatever. It's like he went to a pro day. Don't read too much into it. He's the only GM that showed up. Okay. Yeah, he took him out to lunch. I mean, if you don't expect our executives, whether it be GM or our head scouts or even our coaches, to be more involved with some of these top, say, 30 picks, you're crazy. They got to vet these guys. They got to do their due diligence and
Mm-hmm.
get their true fit, especially if you're going to be taking a possible number 6 pick.
Yes.
You got to make sure you cover all your bases. You don't want another Henry Ruggs Ruggs was not really as big of a no, it was a big deal.
The
It's not
talent
like a
wise, his
character
talent
flaw,
wasn't there.
basically.
Yeah.
Like Damon Arnett. Somebody didn't do their homework on that kid prior to. There's plenty of cases where they don't do their homework, and then everybody gets mad when something like this happens. Well, this is what they're doing basically. Is they're doing their due diligence to make sure that they're going to get this number 6 pick right.
Yeah.
Or they're going to trade out. Those are your options. Make a pick or trade it out. So I'm still a firm believer of trading out if guys like Mason Graham are gone. Carter's going to be gone. Let's face it. Carter, if he falls to us, that will be some sort of a miracle. Same thing with Travis Hunter.
Agreed.
Graham will fall to us. I'm willing to bet he'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
I think Shador, he's either going to go to Cleveland or he's going to make it to us. And then if we pass on him, the Jets are probably grabbing him right behind us.
I really think that either the Saints or the Jets are going to try to move up because Shador is going to fall a little bit. Because I'm not super sure if the Browns are going to take him. If they don't, then I think one of those teams are definitely going to move up. I heard today, though, because I know yesterday I had said that I think the Jets are going to be the one to move up for sure. But I heard today, I was listening to the radio, and they said that with the Justin Fields thing, since he's on the Jets, they don't think that they're going to put him under the situation that Kirk Cousins was in Atlanta this year, that they're trying to rebuild it like from the ground up completely. So they're going to try to take the best player available, whoever's there. So I can understand that, especially because Justin Fields is still pretty young. And I guess you can feel comfortable enough to say like, hey, we're not trying to rebuild. I mean, we're not trying to compete now. Like, this is going to be a multi-year rebuild. We have our coach in place. Like, let him build the roster around, before getting the quarterback, especially at the position they're at now. And so I think it's more likely going to be the Saints now, because the Saints have basically nobody behind Carr. I know they said they liked Rattler, but the few games that Rattler played this year was not good at all. And they're paying Derek Carr a lot of money, and I think they want to get out of that as soon as possible and kind of restart because they're in cap hell as a team in total.
Oh, yeah.
So I think they, as soon as they are able to and willing to get rid of Carr, they are going to. So I think it would be in their best interest to try and go up and go get that quarterback, especially if they like Shador too. So yeah.
So it looks like everybody's favorite person is in the chat right now. So Mr. Money Chuck is here. So I got to ask you two things, Money Chuck. Number one, were you not hugged a lot and told you were loved by your parents when you were young? And number two, do you want to pull out the stuffed animal and show me where your uncle touched you in the bad place? So until then, fuck off, bitch. I can't stand that fucking guy. And to think he's fucking same age as me, and he acts like this. Acts like a fucking. I know another guy that acts like that.
Oh, we don't want to get into that one.
No, I won't.
Yeah.
I won't. Not on here. It's not the place for it. But anyway, so what's up, Raider Pete? Yeah, here. What's going on, man?
What up, Raider Pete?
Frank Weber says if we stay at 6, an
Agreed.
impact player will fall in our lap. Be patient. I absolutely. I just don't want it to be Shador or Genti. I'm sorry. I no. No. I love Barron, or I know it sounds crazy, but Starks too. Starks could be.
I like Starks a lot.
And yeah, right. Yeah, I agree, Leo. I'm not saying just trade back to trade back. I'm thinking of it to accumulate more picks, basically. You know, pick up a second or a third, make up for that third rounder that we let go to bring Geno in. You know, get an additional second rounder where we can amass some, you know, a group of talent out of this draft. You know, instead of just putting our stocks in one player, like say, I'm just using it as an example. I'm not knocking your boy Shador. You know, instead of taking him and knowing that we're not going to play him right away, we can get somebody that can come in and do something, even if we get him later in the first round. You know, there's plenty of teams. I mean, moving up to number 6, we could get a boatload of picks for that. I'm telling you, somebody wants those picks or that pick, and
yeah,
they put together the right offer to us. I mean, we'd be crazy not to jump on it.
Yeah, like I was saying, if it's the Saints as well, and they want and say Shador is there, I don't see why we wouldn't. We don't move back very far. We can still get one of those top tier guys that we think like Will Johnson will most likely be there. I'm a little more comfortable taking Will Campbell at that spot as well. And then you accumulate another draft pick, like a second, even possibly if you want to try to see if they'll take the next year's first as well. Like it's possible. Yeah. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Because I did just a quick simulation mock draft, and Shador fell to 9 in this one, and the Saints took him. So right. I think like if the Saints really like him, I can definitely see him going there as well. So
there's one of the guys from NFL Network. I forgot who it was exactly. What the hell's the guy? If I see the guy's name, I'll know exactly who it was. That actually had, I thought it was kind of funny, but had Shador going all the way to number like 30 to the Browns. And that was
because they trade back up. Yeah.
They traded back up, and they took Travis Hunter with their first round pick. So they ended up with Hunter and Shador at that point.
That would be pretty crazy.
Shit, man, I got to find who that was because I want to say it was Ziegler, I think is who it was. I'm not 100% positive. Let's see.
I think I'd seen that one on Instagram today.
Leo, I know it's not the same guy. I know who you're talking about. It's the same one that. I'm not going there. So anyway, yeah, only trade back if you get your target player. This guy just doesn't know when to stop. I love him. You guys can't see him. How do you not see him? You can't miss him. Let's see. No. If we trade back, we get in the next year's first. Oh yeah. And I you and Rundown said it too, Leo. You know, this is hopefully, you know, as a fan of the Raiders, this is our last time for a long time that we're picking in the top 10. And I hope it is. I really do. So, okay, yeah, I get it. Let's take the pick and use it. But if we make the trade with the right team and we can get their first rounder for next year, like you just said now, and in your message right here, as long as we trade with a team that is perpetually shitty and finishes with say a top 14 pick, I'll even take a top 14. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
You still get a talented, blue chip player out of that. But I don't want to be trading with the likes of like the Rams, the 49, not the 49ers, like the Chiefs and the Eagles, where we're basically picking at the end of the first round. Granted, talent's still good. You can take a little bit more of I guess, a chance on that pick at that point because you're picking so late in the first round. But I still rather have an early pick too.
Yeah. Totally agree.
He probably blocks the mods so they don't have. Yeah, probably not. And that's probably because I don't see him posting now since that last little saying that I lived in a trailer park. No, I don't know about you, but my house doesn't look like a trailer park, so fuck your face, bitch. 6-9 depending on who's on boards. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I respect Daniel Jeremiah's rankings for the most part. However, his rankings took a dramatic turn from his one. But yeah, it did. I noticed that too. The ones I trust the most are definitely Daniel Jeremiah, and the other one, and he hasn't come out with it, at least as of today, I didn't see anything, is Peter Schrager. But I don't know if anybody knows this that watches Good Morning Football on NFL Network. Monday was his last day on the show, so he left the show. I don't know what his future endeavors are. I don't know what network he's going to or what he's doing in the future. I'm sure we're going to see him on draft day. It's just a matter of which show is going to bring him in as a special, analyst. Um, and Bucky Brooks isn't bad either. Those are like the three that I kind of pay attention to when they do the rankings or the mock drafts. Schrager's usually right on the money too. I mean, he's good. I don't know how many people really know about him, but I mean, I've been watching Good Morning Football now for quite a few years, and I think he's fucking great. Yeah, Leo just said it, Peter. Although I like,
Oh man, he's cool.
I like Kyle Brandt too. He's a closeted Raiders fan. He definitely hypes the Raiders a lot. No, Manti Te'o, you saying? Yeah. Let's see. Now 14 too low, not from 6. Oh, Leo put him in timeout. Yeah, it's kind of bummed he left the show too. I liked him. I don't miss Kay Adams though. I'll tell you, I like Jimmy Erdahl so much better. Let's see. Podcast DJ is going where the money is. I am a Good Morning Football fan. Watch it every morning for the most part. So yeah, all right. So where we're at now is I think we're in a good place with this team going forward at this point.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Rorschach?
What up, Rorschach?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you how you're feeling, but I see that here. Feeling better, but not out of the woods yet. Hope you. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. All right. So quarterback solidified now. As of right now, AOC 12's our backup, obviously. Now we're 3 weeks away. 3 weeks from today is the draft. So by this time, 3 weeks from now, we'll already know who or what we've done in the first round. I can't wait, man. I'm just, I'm tired of all this speculation now. After this super long ass, felt like a 50 game season was finally dragged to an end. And then all the off season moves that we've done and all the hype on, who's going to coach the team and, what are we doing with this pick? How are we getting Shador? We're going to get Shador. No, we're going to get Genty. No, now we're going to go Mason Graham. I just want all that shit to be over. I can't wait for the first pick because that's the biggest deal right now is get past that first pick and then everything else is just smooth sailing at that point as far as I'm concerned. What we do after that, as long as we fill those holes, I don't know if you feel any different on that, but that's how I feel.
No, I agree. Oh, okay. You good?
You little shit. I just got your message on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't talk about my wife, Kay Adams, like that, Leo. um, yeah, I'm just. There's just so much hype for all these half-ass picks and people's stupid narratives on some of the shit that we should be doing. I'm sorry, you know. I'm still fine with taking Jackson Dart, but not at 6.
No,
I
definitely
think
not a
even
six.
you being the biggest Jackson Dart fan I know out there, I know even you say not to take him at number 6.
Yes.
I think it's not a reach. I mean, either way, no matter who we draft for a quarterback, they ain't starting anytime soon,
Right.
regardless. You know, that's why I'm not a big fan of taking a quarterback with number 6. I'm sorry.
Mm.
That's just my feeling. I got my opinion, and I'm sure your opinion is different than mine. I know Leo's is definitely different. I know he wants Shador do or die. You know, he'll fight. He'll fight on that hill for that one. He'll die on that hill for Shador.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, how about the chat? I mean, what do you guys think for number 6? What would you as the chat like to see us do at number 6? I want feedback from everybody.
Yep. Everyone but Leo.
Yeah, Leo, you're on timeout yourself. I put new wheels on this chair. This chair won't stay still now. I put like the rollerblade wheels on it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I
What up,
had on
Jay?
here before, but the ball bearings got a little after 2.5 years. They weren't rolling right, so the chair would get stuck. Now I take one little light push of the desk in front of me, and I'll go back like 10 feet, just glide through this room.
Mm-hmm. See, Leo, that contradicts your statement. Contradicts itself. Take BPA that includes quarterback. Shador is not better than Genty, Johnson, Graham. Like the BPA is going to be one of those guys, not quarterback.
Where am I here? Oh, Jay's in the house. What's up, Jay? Yeah, I watch her and just mute her. Yeah, Kay Adams. I mean, she's not bad looking, but so everybody's saying best player available. Take best player available. That includes QB. PNW Mark says trade.
I like the trade.
Sacktown wants us to take Jay Rader.
I don't think that's.
Oh, of course, Money Chuck. Genty's a no-brainer. Sure at 6, so Tito can go streaking.
Definitely not Shador if that happens. Then.
Yeah. Ideally, a monster drops to us like Travis or Graham. I'd be fine with Campbell, but a guard at 6 is pretty rich. I don't want Campbell at 6. I don't trust his. I'm not a fan of his measurements. I mean, if we draft him at that number, that means he's going to guard. I don't know how well he's going to be in the NFL as a tackle, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He'd be better served inside. The transition will be easier to bring him inside versus taking a guard and putting him at tackle. That's not an easy task, but it is doable. But I'd rather have him at guard and not judge. But Membo, on the other hand, is a different story. That's the guy that would be playing at tackle. That's the guy I don't have a problem with.
Yeah, I agree that he'd probably be a better guard. I agree that he is definitely not the choice at 6. I would want to take him like if we trade back. I said, I feel better if we take him at 9. I'd feel probably a little bit better at that. I think that's maybe still kind of high, but I would feel better. But he said something. I don't know who he's asking or what interview or who interviewed.
Randy.
But he said like I had all these measurables since I started at LSU. I've had these measurables all year, and all of a sudden, just because he goes to the combine and now he got measured again, like all of a sudden it's a problem. But he's had these measurables and he's performed with it the entire year, his whole life basically. And no one's really had an issue with it until you put a number to it. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. I agree that, arm length is necessary for someone at a tackle, but at a guard, it's not as, because you want to get up into the people at guard more so than tackle. So I think he would be a great guard, and I think he has a dog mentality. That's basically where I'm getting at in his statement, and I think he'd be a great player to fill that guard spot that we are searching for too.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely what we need. I mean, I know some people are still kind of holding out hope that Kappa can come in and take the starting spot at guard. Basically because of his experience and his being a veteran of so long and being experienced to the point where he's been in the playoffs, he's been there, done that. He knows what it's like to be in that position, and players on the line can feed off of that. He's been on a winner. None of these guys on our front line have been on a winning team in the pro level, obviously. So someone like that is valuable in that aspect. It's not always about what they do on the field. It's those intangibles on how they conduct themselves off the field and in the locker room and in the weight room and just overall being there to, supportive, even if he's not the starter. He still can teach these guys things that he learned from other players in the past. So yeah, I gave him shit when we first picked him up, calling him Kappa the Crapper and everything because he had one really bad season.
He was bad, yeah, he was bad.
It just so happens that we picked him up after such a shit bum season, and we're giving him 11 mil a year, which is, in my opinion, I think that's a little bit too fucking much money. But what do I know? I'm not the GM, and I'm not getting paid big bucks to, decipher what we do with this team.
Right.
Say this up there. I mean, again, still our major problem right now is that offensive line. Yeah, running back room and everything, but running back room don't mean shit until we fix the problems with that front line. Because you can have all the running backs in the world back there, but if your line can't block and make holes for these guys, what's the sense in it? There's no sense in drafting a guy like Genty if we can't even open up the lanes for him to run in. You can't expect them to bounce it outside every time because guess what? Teams are going to come wise to that, and they're going to prevent that shit because they know you can't run inside because your offensive line's not good enough to open up the lanes. And if you got no running game, guess what? If you got no running game by default because your front line, your offensive line sucks, then they're just going to stack the box or they're going to put enough guys in coverage where you can't throw the ball. They'll put 2 guys on Brock Bowers. They'll shut your offense down before you even snap the ball. You can have the best defense in the world, and if our offense can't move the ball, which is what happened last year, we're going to be in the same fucking boat again. So that's why I would be more inclined to take an offensive lineman first, to be honest with you, or make sure that we're ready to roll with that offensive line before we go make a pick of a running back. Because Saquon Barkley, perfect example of what happened with him. He spent those years in New York, wasted talent, wasted his youth basically in the league, playing on a shitty team. Yeah, he had great yardage and everything. He had great stats, but look what happened when he went to Philly. Philly was set up and ready for him. And guess what? They kicked it into fucking high gear and boom, they did what they needed to do and they won a fucking Super Bowl with him. Would they have won the Super Bowl without him? Maybe.
Exactly. Maybe.
Probably not. Their offense was good, but Barkley was that final piece of the puzzle. The defense is what really kept them in a lot of those games anyway.
Leo, you can't be serious. Barkley had good years in New York City, but now he's a generational. No, Barkley's been a generational talent since coming out of Penn State.
Yeah, I mean, he did amazing things in New York, but the rest of the team couldn't keep up with his talent is the problem. When you got shit bum quarterbacks there that can't even get the ball to players, how even to this day, I still don't understand how the Neighbors had the career statistical year that he had. To be
Yeah,
honest with you, with what they have for quarterbacks, I mean, your main starter was gone by what? When did they let him go?
like
Week 6, 7,
yeah, super early.
basically midway through the season, they cut ties with him. And Neighbors still put up that kind of stats. I mean, come on. Let's see. Yeah, I fell behind on the chat here big time. And is for God, I dropped down in the draft. And again,
I like Ray
and that's
Zabel a
where,
lot.
yeah, I do too. And that's where trading out of number 6 helps because you'll move back to make the pick make sense. You know what I mean? By grabbing Zabel a little bit later in the first round and gaining additional draft picks out of that.
Mm,
Where you can fill in those other, then you can go and get your running back. Then you can get your wide receiver because your quarterback position is pretty much sewed up. You're going to get one later on in the draft anyway. So solidify that offensive line. Bring in a rookie that can start in this league. He's going to automatically be better than any guard we've pretty much got on the team right now. Just seriously, say it's Zabel we bring in. I guarantee he's going to start over either one of the two guys we're going to put out on the field based on the current roster. Because Zabel's a hell of a lot bigger than most of the ones that we do have.
yeah,
For the exception of if we are serious about moving JPJ to guard and putting someone else at center, which I am not on that train at all. Keep the guy where he is. Don't take him off being the center. Absolutely not.
yeah.
Let's see. Pure God. I like Booker. Yeah, Booker's not bad either, too. What's up, Alec? Only first year is guaranteed, so that money for Kappa is really, yeah. Running back probably worse than O line though. If he is generationally, he should be able to get done with our O line. Yeah, but do you really think that? I just don't see Genty having a good season with our current O line if we don't address it. I think we need to. I'm not opposed to trading back and grabbing an offensive guard. I'm sorry. There's plenty of running backs in this draft. We can get the running backs. Wide receivers we can get in the second round. Only shot we have of getting Dart for the future would be either trading back into the late first round or if he's not there by our second round pick, he's going to be gone.
Yeah,
I
I think
honestly
he'll be gone.
I don't think he's coming out of the first round.
I don't think so either.
I don't think he's making it past the first round. I really don't.
It'll
I
be a
think
late first round, but he'll make it in the first.
or somebody's gonna move up and go for him because they know that that's the only opportunity they're gonna have to get him if they're far enough back in that first round.
Fucking Leo.
So go with O lineman at 6.
Not at 6. Not at 6.
That's where I would trade back.
Yeah.
You could really use a good swing offensive tackle.
I think Thayer Mumford is a serviceable swing tackle, like if need be.
Yeah. Eagles defense won them. Yeah, they definitely did. But again, their offense was no slouch with Barkley either, though. Can't get over letting a Genty go. I can. I think a lot of people can. I think that might sneak into the first round. Oh, without a doubt.
Exactly.
Let's see. No, I mean, Barkley is and always has been generational talent.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. That is definitely going first round. Someone's still talking about Kay Adams. That was like a half hour ago. What's up on that, Brenna?
What up, Wen?
Steve DeLuna, what's up, brother? I'm trenches all day, but if they draft Genty and find a good guard later in the draft, I'm good. Doc going to the Rams.
Yeah, he's just trying to troll me for sure.
No, I should have shown the post you sent earlier about the running back fumble rate this draft, Leo. Yeah, yeah, it was fucking. Genty's like one of the worst coming out of college this year on fumbles. And the funny is that the two best are the two Ohio State running backs, Judkins and Henderson. Both one, I forget which one. I think Henderson had 0 fumbles, and Judkins was like
Here you go.
0.32. Oh, here you go. Is this it?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. 3.7. I wasn't far off.
Yep.
The Tootin kind of
Martinez,
surprised
Neal.
me. I picked him in a few of my mock drafts before too, but that might move him for me. Yeah, so you got Henderson 0, Judkins 0.37. And not for nothing, I mean, is that a coincidence that they won the championship too? You know, I mean, you don't fumble the ball, you don't give it away. That's what happens.
Yeah, that's a good point, honestly.
Yeah. Let's see, Gino, Genty, Chip Kelly versus what we had in Minshew, Zamir, and all the OC we had. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that does sound better than Minshew and Zamir. That's for sure. Let's see. Only way I'm moving up in the first is for Shiloh.
I'm dead. That's funny.
Yeah, I did too, Leo. I'm surprised. I thought he had better hands than that. I was kind of shocked when I saw him.
Well, if you put it in this, frame of mind, Scatabo was the only person out of Arizona State to get an invite to the combine. Like he was the entire team, and likewise like Genty. That's why I think their fumble rate is higher because they were their entire teams. So they're going to get the ball more time. I would like to see the snap count compared. I mean the like how many times on offense like they got the ball compared to like that fumble rate.
Well, that's the other thing too. Genty's number should be up higher than most because of how many carries he had.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
The more times you touch the ball, the more chances are you're gonna fumble, or you're not gonna have a completion, or whatever the reason may be, or a reception. So the more carries you have, yeah, definitely, and which doesn't surprise me now that you really put it into more of a context like that.
Yeah,
that the top two guys are who they are because they're splitting the carries back there.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at it combined, they both really were at like 0.37.
Right. Exactly.
That was that basically would be like the total for the entire team. And they're splitting the carries. So if one gets 200 carries, the other one's getting 175. I mean, yeah, he's got 25 more carries, so he's got 25 more chances to fumble. Whereas Genty was the only running back on that team that really touched the ball, and he touched it almost 400 times or over 400.
A lot, a lot of times.
I mean, that's the amount of times he's got the chance to drop that ball is fucking ridiculous compared to the number 2 running back behind him in carries. Which I'd be curious to see who the number 2 is and what his fumble rate is.
Right.
If we can search that, I would love.
I wouldn't know how to do that. That's why. But yeah, because I thought about it and I was like, it makes sense because Scatabo and Genty were literally their entire offense. They're going to get the ball more often, which means they're going to fumble more often just off of pure, quantity of touches. So I kind of took it with a little bit of a grain of salt. And I kind of looked at it actually as of the fact that they are actually rather low and still top 10, considering they got that many touches, is more impressive than the 0% and the 0.37 that Judkins and Travion Henderson split. But that's not to say, obviously, I don't like either of those two guys. I still really like those two guys, but I just thought it said more about Genty and Scatabo.
What's up, Smokey? He says, do you guys think you go trenches over everything else? I'm starting to really feel that way more and more, to be honest with you. Whether it's defense or offense, Let's put it that way. Like at number 6, if Graham's there, I'm taking him. If he's not there, then I want to trade back and try and hopefully land Zabel.
Yeah.
You know, I would be happy with that. I would not be upset at all with that move. You know, I honestly, I have a feeling we're not going to stay at number 6. You know, from looking at Pete Carroll's past history in the draft, that's not his MO. You know,
Mhm.
he's always moving around in the draft, and even when he takes you look at his past picks, he trades back a lot. You know, and he moves players around on draft day too. So,
Mhm.
you know, whether it be him bringing players in for draft picks or vice versa, you know, trading away a player for picks. I mean, he's all for that. You can tell just by looking at it. You know, Spytech. The only history we have with Spytech is, you know, when he was an assistant GM, the movements that they made. How much was he involved in that, in helping that decision being made to move around in the draft? I don't know. So we won't really know his tendencies until this draft is complete. You
Right.
know, he gets his first full draft under his belt as a GM to see, you know, for the future, like, okay, this is what he did last year. We kind of want to expect the same thing. Whereas with Telesco, before the draft even happened last year, we knew what he was going to do. You know, he stays put with his draft picks. He's coupon Tom. He's going to try and save money any way he can. He's going to take the best player available, which he did for 3 picks in a row for us last year. You know, took Bowers, took JPJ, took Glaze, you know, and he hit on all 3 of those. And even some of his later round picks weren't that bad either. You know, so he had a successful draft, you know. So a lot remains to be seen on what happens with Spytech this year. We only know of him for what he's done for our free agents, you know, whether it be re-signing or bringing guys in.
Mhm.
So let's see. Where's the flag? Says I really like Caleb Johnson. He was Iowa's whole offense. Not that it was a good but he was a Big Ten running back.
I like Caleb Johnson. He was good.
I do too. Uh, I wouldn't be upset if that's the first running back we take in this draft. You kidding me? I'm fucking all for it. Smokey, I really want Tyler Warren. Only thing that makes sense is trading back and taking a wide receiver or some secondary help. You never go wrong drafting trenches, especially with great coaches. Yeah, and which is
True.
something we have. So, all right. So you want to fire up that draft?
Yep.
How
Let's
do you
do
want
it.
to do this? How do you want to do this? Do you want to do trades, or do we want to do it without trades? I figure
We
we get
could
enough
do.
time. We could probably get a couple in, so we could do one of each if we wanted to.
Yeah. Oh well. Let's do this. Let's do. Do you want to do one with? Do you want to do? I'll do like let's. Okay. Let me just hold on. Let me just think about what
Go
I'm gonna
for it.
say. Yeah, cause fuck, I can't talk apparently. Um, we'll do one of us does one with trades, and then one of us does one without. So, do you want
Okay.
yours to be with trades or without? Because I don't care for either, so it doesn't matter to me.
Have you done one with trades?
Um, kind of. It's just like to me, trades is it's hard because you don't really know who. Like if hypothetically if we was to do one with trades right now, I would probably do it with the Saints. Like because that's where I really think that if Shador falls, that's where it's gonna happen. The Saints. Um, but if I don't, but also, how many rounds do you want to do? Because I can't really say if we're gonna move back in the fourth. You know, that's kind of hard to predict. Um, but I'm down for whatever, basically.
Well, if you haven't done one with trades before on a live show, why don't you do the trades one?
Okay, let's do it.
And
I'll do like a 4 round draft with the trade.
okay, we'll do 4 rounds. I'm fine
Yeah.
with that. So we'll do a 4 round only.
Hmm.
You do with trades. I'll do one without, and then we'll compare notes.
What about Smokies are here? That's a good idea. Do 1 round and we'll just do both. We both do both. or 2. We can even do 2
All right,
rounds.
so put it up on this, pull it up, and then I'll pop it on the screen. We'll do we'll do 1 round,
Hold
and
on.
everybody see that?
There it
Okay.
is.
Whoa. The hell?
Hold on. Yeah, let me move this. There. That should be better.
Yeah,
Can
everybody
you see
should be
it?
able to read it. I can see it with no problem, but I'm on a bigger monitor, so
Here, let me
if anybody's on their phone watching this, unfortunately, you can't.
there.
But
That should be better.
use a
Um
magnifying glass.
all right, so let's do 2
Yeah,
rounds
do
with
it
trades.
2 rounds. 2 rounds makes more
2
sense.
rounds with trades, Vegas. Okay. So I kind of just want to see where people go. Let's hide this first. So let's see. Carter goes first in this one. Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Membu. I've been seeing a lot more Membu going here. T-Mac
Yeah.
goes here. So like at this point, I would only trade back if Mason Graham is not here. But in this one, I would stick and at 6 and pick Mason Graham. So I'll do this one without trades because Mason Graham is still here.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
And then here,
Where did Shador go? That's what
yeah,
I'm
that's
more
where I was
curious.
gonna go.
He
Shador went
right after
7
us.
right after.
I'm
Yep,
not surprised.
I am definitely not surprised. Will Campbell goes as high as 10, which is probably the highest that I've seen him go. Genty, of
And they
course, goes
traded up to get him. Seattle traded
exactly.
up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They went from 18 to 10. Genty, a shocker, Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. Where did the Bears pick? Oh, they moved. They moved back. Oh, duh, because Seattle moved up. Duh.
Yeah. Then they traded it
Um,
away to Buffalo.
yeah. See, Jackson Dart goes to Tennessee. See, that would be a good draft for Tennessee. They
Yeah, it
get
would be.
Jackson
What did they
Dart.
get in the first? What they
They
take in the
got
first?
Abdul Carter.
Oh shit! Yeah, they've already won the draft as far as I'm concerned, right there.
That's a good draft. Oh, they Saints
Oh
picked
fuck!
Grace Zabel here. 29. Yeah, all right. Let's see what we got here. Nolan, Green, Watts.
What's the best offensive guard left? Just out of curiosity, where's that
Yeah.
rank?
Jonas Avaina is good. Very
Ratledge
good.
is still there, so we could get him later on.
Mm-hmm. Emory Jones is still here too. I like Emory Jones a lot, but that's a tackle.
So we need. So our major needs right now are definitely wide receiver and running back.
Yeah, for sure. I would probably take Jaden Higgins.
Which we could wait on. Even A. Menor is still there, so we could wait on
Yeah.
him.
Let's see who's a
So
running back. Honestly, I would probably take Henderson or Judkins, whoever I feel is better. For me, it would probably be Henderson.
Well, here's what you want. Hold on, before you make that pick.
Yeah.
You're gonna look at who we have. So we've got Mostert. So we've got that speedy, smaller style running back. So what we need now is we need the bigger bruiser, like the 220-pound guy. So you have to look at out of those two, who is that one? I don't off the top of my head.
The thing is, so Henderson is 5'10", 202.
It would be Judkins then.
And Judkins is 5'11", 221. The thing is that Henderson, to me, well, not to me, but Henderson was the best blocking running back in the entire college football circuit last year. So, to me, with an older running back behind him, I would want to keep TreVeyon Henderson on the field as long as possible. So that means being able to do everything well, which includes blocking, like we've been talking about with. So to me, that would mean Henderson, considering how Mostert has, like I said, is 1 is older, and 2 has a lot of injury history, and 3 has had not a lot of touches, but he's older considering his touches, and to me it would be Henderson. That's why I would go.
All right, Joe, it's your draft. So go. You want. I'm just throwing it out there so you're aware of it. That's all.
No, yeah, I get you. So
that's the end of it. So that's what we got in our first 2 rounds. Then.
Yep. I mean, I can you really be angry at it? To be honest, like
No,
that's
not at all. I mean,
right.
no, because again, you can still get an offensive lineman.
Hmm.
You know, will he start? Maybe. You know, I mean, nobody thought Glaze was going to stop for us last year. Nobody thought JPJ was going to jump in and stop for us. To be honest with you,
Yeah, exactly.
you know.
Uh-huh. All right, let's restart this. Um, so let's do one with trades. So before even this starts, I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna propose a trade to where's the Saints? Saints confirm to them. I want to see if they would one. Uh, if they would, I don't know if they would offer it first, but I want to see if they accept it because they move up a couple and
Mhm.
they possibly get their quarterback. They rejected it, so I would go with their second then. Where's the Saints? Oh, duh. Really? Which is weird considering
You might have
I
to,
I think
yeah,
they would
go
do
with
it.
their 9. Go with their 9 and their
Oh, they're 9.
40,
Yeah.
but then give them our 143rd. See if all right.
I to be honest, I feel like they would take that. Um,
In reality, yeah.
I think they would. Let's try this. I'll give them one away just for the sake of trying to get the move done. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like they
I
would do
mean,
it.
yeah, other option is try a trade with the Jets to move up that one pick.
Mm, to me, I think the Jets would move up over in this area 4 or 5, um, because the possibility that the Raiders are still interested in Shador or whatever quarterback falls. I think they would try to jump us. I don't think they would try to. It would be more beneficial for them to jump us rather than just move up one. That's what I think. Uh,
Right?
but I think uh, where is they? The Steelers are an interesting team to move up.
Oh, they'll take Shador in a hot beat.
Yeah, that's why the Steelers are very interesting. The Cowboys, like we've been saying with Genty, are
What if the
interesting.
Seahawks would jump at that one?
The Seahawks,
Yeah.
I don't. The thing is with the Seahawks is I don't think they would go up because they're trying to build around Sam Darnold. They already paid a lot of money to Sam Darnold, and they want to
True.
kind of fill out their roster, especially after losing DK as well. If anything, they would probably move back to obtain more people, picks. I mean, for more people. But really, let's try to get the Steelers. I think they would be very interested in trying to get a quarterback here. Where's the Steelers? Am I dumb? I don't see him. Oh. 6/21. I would try their first for next year. All right, they're being stingy apparently.
Guess so.
Yep.
Oh, they took that one.
So their first and second, we swap first and we get their second.
Mhm.
So let's see where this goes. All right. So right before they have their pick, Cam Ward, Membu goes second, Abdul Carter goes third, Johnson, Travis Hunter. So they have their choice of guys, Mason Graham, Campbell, Genty,
Yep.
Sanders, T Mac.
If they take Mason Graham, oh my God, that defense.
Yeah, that would be nasty. I'm not gonna lie, that would be gross. And they take Shador Sanders like we kind of predicted, exactly like we predicted.
Jets took Mason Graham. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know how happy I would be with it.
Yeah, but now
Oh,
here's the thing. Hold on.
we get 21.
Now you could try and move back into the first round.
Right.
move further up into the first round again. Like keep scrolling. No. Go into the first round.
Yeah.
You're
This is
going the
the
wrong way.
end.
There you go. Keep going that way. So who's the next pick right now?
Oh,
Okay. So now you could try and see if you can get something with Carolina.
would we go this high? Like, would we try to
All right,
move up this high?
try the 49ers
I
or something.
I think somebody who would want to trade back would probably be the Niners. I feel like maybe the Falcons would probably try to trade back. Like we were saying, Seattle was probably a good one to trade back, but let's try the Niners. I think they would
Robert Pena.
probably try to trade back. You're going to be under some cap hell pretty soon. I'll give him. No, I probably don't want to give him 37. Let's try your third. I don't know if they'll take it, but I'll try it. Yeah, because I want to keep this second round.
Yeah, all right, then just let it go then.
Yeah, let's see. Will Campbell, Genty, T Mac,
T-Mac went.
Jalen Walker,
went.
Golden, Banks, Warren, Shamar Stewart, Pierce, Loveland, Williams. And then here, where did Will Johnson go? Oh, he went 4.
Yeah, he went early. What was going for running backs right now?
Travion Henderson. Oh, sorry, Amarian Hampton.
Oh, so Hampton's still there. I mean, we could take him right now at number 21.
I like Henderson a little bit more than Hampton. I don't know.
I mean, you could do that, or you could go and take your quarterback right now too.
Might take Emeka Egbuka.
You could take that too. There's plenty of options. What's there for?
Might take Gray Zabel. Zabel or Booker. Ooh, honestly, it would probably be between Emeka Egbuka and Zabel or Booker.
Where's the flag is saying, or you could take Starks and we're set.
I like Starks a lot too. I really do. That I don't think that's a bad pick at all. Starks is very good. I think if we get to this point and we have these options, one, it's a good thing to have. Two, you can't really be upset with any of these guys like Starks, even Worry, Booker, Barron, Buka. Like, I'm pretty happy with any of these guys. To me, though, just out of my heart, I'd probably take Emeka Egbuka, if I'm being honest. So that's who I'm going to go with.
When's that next pick? 37? Okay.
37. Who did they trade with? Oh, the Bills. I think there's a lot of
just
talent.
Real quick, anybody that's in the chat still watching, that link I just posted, the East Coast Raider Gamer, that's the channel I made for my gaming streaming that I'm going to be doing. So whenever I play games, unless I play against Nate or anyone else that is on our shows, if I play them in Madden, I may do that still on the Booster Club channel. But like for the Marvel Rivals and any other games I do play, it's going to be on that channel. So if you guys are into that and like watching it or getting involved, make sure you hit that sub on that. Make sure you get over the Nate's page, LV Raider 10. Hit the sub, hit the notification, the thumbs up, all that shit. Smash buttons.
Yes, sir.
Check us out because he's also got his gaming channel too, which is LV Raider 10 Gaming.
LV Raider Gaming. No 10.
LV Raider Gaming. Sorry, LV Raider Gaming. So we've been doing that a lot lately, the last few days. Mm-hmm. So we do have a Madden franchise league going. It's myself, Nate, Rundown, and Jess. Everybody knows him as Chewy on here. So when that season's over, we'll start a new one again too.
Yep. for sure.
I mean, I've streamed some of my games. They're god awful because I'm just so suckage at that game right now. Still. Thanks, Robert.
Well,
I appreciate you.
well, as we get here, Omarion Hampton is still here.
Yeah.
Travion Henderson was the first running back taken over him.
Oh yeah, just right before us too.
Mm-hmm. This is where I was kind of looking for. I would have traded probably with the Lions. That's where I was kind of gonna go with to take one of these guys here, Zabel or Booker. I just kind of wanted to see because they kept falling, and I just kept it going for too long.
So what do we have for picks right now? What have we made? Just the one pick?
Yeah, we got Emeka Egbuka.
All right.
So I would probably go Omarion Hampton, considering he's probably the best on the board right now.
Yeah, that's how Mike's saying Hampton.
Yeah, exactly. That's who I'd go with, and feel good about it too. Honestly.
That was our last pick.
Yep. It's just I forgot to put it on fast, so. There we go.
I thought we had an extra second round pick with the trade we made.
Let's see.
Oh, pick 83.
Oh, because they didn't accept the second. That's right.
Yeah.
Where's
the flag says solid? I've given an A. We got the next year.
Yeah. No, we didn't.
We didn't get the next year's first.
Yeah.
They wouldn't go for it. He tried.
Yeah, I feel like they'd be more inclined to take it for next year's first. I feel like they're just being a little stingy on here for sure.
So let's do this now. Let's do one without trades. Let's do 4 rounds.
And
put it. Make sure you pick the team. Make sure you put it on fast. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we could have gotten the second round out of that, Steve.
Yeah, like I said, I think this simulation was just being a little stingy.
All right. So before we make the pick, we're gonna leave this one up to the chat. We're not doing trades. We're just gonna pick.
Trades.
We'll go with what you guys select. So right now, what's been taken is Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Will Campbell, Membu, and Travis Hunter. So you can see who's available there on the right. Mason Graham, Genty, Will Johnson, Sanders, T-Mac. That's who's available. He's scrolling through now so you can get a look. So what's up, Raider Ryan? What's the consensus on what you guys want to do with that first round pick at number 6 based on who's available?
Exactly. If this is how the draft board falls, if this happens, what would your guys' pick be? Will Johnson.
So Raider Ryan says Will Johnson or Genty. Well, you got to pick one. Sacktown Mike says defensive tackle, which that translates into he's saying Mason Graham.
Mm-hmm.
Graham or Shador. Well, pick one. No trades. We're not doing any trades on this draft. This is going to be strictly just pick the players.
Right.
Out of what's available. So Sacktown Mike says Graham. Where's the flag? Pick one. Graham or Shador? Felix. What's up, Felix? Felix.
What up, Felix?
So that's 2 for Graham right now. 3 for Graham. 1 for Genty. 1 for Johnson. So right now, Graham's winning out.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
I think we're gonna go with Graham. Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. Second round coming up. All right. Best available right now is Zabel, Kenneth Grant, Marion Hampton, Benjamin Morris, Jackson Dott, Ursery. I can't really read that one.
Yeah, Ursery.
So what's the next pick, guys? So obviously you can see best available right now is Gray Zabel, offensive guard. Then you got Kenneth Grant from Michigan. We've already got a D tackle, so Mario Hampton is still there. Hampton, Raider Ryan says Hampton.
If this was me, I'm taking Zabel probably immediately.
Zabel or Hampton? Probably Hampton.
2
Sacktown
for
Mike
Hampton,
says,
1 Zabel.
yeah, that's Zabel. He just didn't spell it right. His fingers were off by one key. You were a row below on the keyboard. You got to come up one.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a boy.
Another Hampton.
So we got 3 for Hampton, 2 for Zabel.
2 for Zabel.
Still tight.
All right, let's keep seeing it, huh? People are starting to put it in there. Right now, as it stands, it would be Hampton. Anybody else?
So where's the flag said Zabel or Hampton? Are you sure with Hampton, or do you want to change that?
Zabel said Bueno, so it's tied now.
No, not Bueno said Zabton. I don't know where he is on the ranking, but you looking for Zoltron? Isn't that from Dude, Where's My Car? Zoltron.
Zabel. So that's 4 for Zabel now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Where's the flag? So let's get a running back next round. So he switched to Zabel. So all right, looks like Zabel, I guess. Zabel won that one out. So we're taking Zabel. I like this draft already.
All right, Zabel it is.
All right, next pick at number 68, and that is now.
Damn. Dart went just a couple before.
Yeah. So we got Kenneth Grant still available. What's the Jaden Higgins is still there too, but that's okay. What's the top running backs?
Running backs, Giddens, Scattaboo, Tootin.
Oh damn!
Martinez,
wow, where the fuck did
Jordan.
Go back and scroll back? Wow.
Judkins and Henderson ran.
Oh, we went back to back. Bills and Chiefs. Oh fuck, I don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah. They got taken literally just like a couple of picks right before we were picking too. That's tough. That is tough.
All right, so we kind of fucked up on running backs then, huh?
I mean, I'm cool with taking Scattaboo.
Where's the flag is saying wait on running back again, get the wide receiver? We already have a wide receiver.
No, we don't. We have Graham and Zabel.
Oh, sorry. All right. So go to wide receiver then.
Yeah, Higgins, Betch, Ayamainer.
Higgins.
We got 1 for Higgins, 1 for Scattaboo.
All right, so Higgins and Scattaboo are the top vote getters, 1 of each.
Emory Jones is still here too. You really fucking fill out that offensive line if you want to.
Yeah, no shit, right? Anyone else chiming in? What do we want to do for a pick?
Higgins and Scattaboo are the two guys we got here, and I like both of those guys, so I'm cool with whatever. It just kind of reinforces what we've been saying and the fact that this is such a good draft that accumulating more picks makes so much sense for the Raiders, especially wanting to 1, stay cheap, 2, fill out an entire roster, and 3, compete as soon as possible. Like it just this kind of solidifies it.
You already voted once. You only get 1 vote. Don't try to sneak in the second one. I know you. All right. That's interesting. Fuck you, Nate. Your vote doesn't count, Nate. Oh, here we go. Steve DeLuna. Jeff wants all white draft. Give him Scattaboo.
Scattaboo, here we come.
Did you just take him?
No.
Oh, no, I thought you did.
But it's 1 for Scattaboo. I mean, I don't know if that's a real pick for Steve DeLuna, but
Tyler A says
Scattaboo. So
right now, that's the winner here.
Scattaboo is winning, yeah.
Yeah. Jess, go try and see if Money Chuck's around. Maybe he'll help you out if you're horny.
Dylan Sampson. You got 1 for Dylan Sampson.
Sampson? Wow, a little early for that one, don't you think?
Samson is not that far off.
Not that far off. We're at the 68th pick. He's ranked in the 130s. That's a long way off, man. Jesus Christ,
So
you want to have fans screaming about reaching for picks. Damn.
we're gonna go Scatterboo. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, no one else is saying anything, so.
Yeah. All right, Scatterboo it is.
Fucking Jess, you're a little too late. We're already on round 3, and you're still in round 1 with the 6th pick. All right, so Scatterbo we took.
Yeah. So far we got Graham, Zabel, and Scatterbo
Wait a minute, why didn't we take the wide receiver?
because they picked Scatterbo over Jaden Higgins.
All right, well, go to wide receivers now. We got to get one.
Restrepo, Nick Nash, Ricky White is still here. Tesla, I like Tesla a lot actually.
He might
Yeah.
get scratched.
This is kind of reaching though, like you were saying. The only one that's ranked as high as Restrepo.
I don't even know about him. I don't know enough about
He's
him.
good. Xavier Restrepo is good. I like
Yeah.
Odelejo. He's an edge though, yeah. Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant
We
is
should
here.
have gone with Higgins.
Yeah, we probably should have gone with Higgins over
Yeah.
Scatterbo. But hey, this is y'all's draft. It's fine. I'm cool with
Jess
it.
says Ricky White.
Ricky
Where's
White.
the flag goes? Dang, all the wide receivers are going. Scatterbo is awesome. Yeah, I don't get me wrong. Exact how Mike says Restrepo.
Restrepo. I like Restrepo. Not upset at it. I'd
No.
probably take Kobe Bryant if I'm being honest. Maybe.
Is this our last pick? I thought we would.
Yeah, this is our last. Yeah.
Oh, this is 12th round. Okay. Well, we need a wide receiver. I say we take it right now at the 4th round because other than that, we ain't gonna get another shot.
Restrepo?
We're only doing 4th. Yeah.
What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Restrepo, we got one Restrepo. I don't know what Sanker is.
You're good, Mike. I knew what you meant. Steve DeLuna.
Oh, Jonas Sanker. Swinson available at linebacker. Oh, Denny.
Stutzman. What's up, Rock? How you doing, bro? Where's the flag says free agency? That's my vote. He's talking wide receivers, so he goes Amari Cooper at this point.
That's funny.
We may not have any choice at that point. I mean, granted, we're only doing 4 rounds. I mean, we could have got one later on too, but how good it's going to be, who the fuck knows?
So we're kind of at a tie with Restrepo, Sanker, and I think he means Stutson. Unless I'm reading it wrong. Or I mean, not thinking of the right person.
It's got to be him. Rock, quick thoughts on Geno extension. I have trouble with the numbers. Nate, you know the numbers. You brought it up. What was his contract again?
Yeah, 2 years, 85.5, which brings him, I think, with the guaranteed, it was like somewhere around 45.
45 mil a season.
Yeah, AAV. Which puts him, I believe it was like somewhere to 15 to 17 high as far as quarterback rankings getting paid wise. Which is good. I think that's a solid for, I think he's right there in that same quarterback ranking as far as talent wise. So I think it's good. I'm not upset at it. Gives us some time to really build out our team as a whole rather than, picking a quarterback high just out of straight need. There you go. 42 million. That's what it is. I knew it was somewhere around 40 and a half.
Yeah.
But Yeah, it gives us some time to not have to worry about the quarterback position. And I think now we can really focus on building the team around him and try to compete as fast as possible with the time we have with Pete Carroll and with Geno Smith. I'm not bueno. Safety. I don't know how to say that last name.
Balzac.
So what is it? Derek Carr been paid $40 million for a while. Yeah, they overpaid for him.
It's Balzac, like Balthazar.
uh
Carr got like $100 million guaranteed. Carr got over fucking paid. Way overpaid.
What up, Charm
What's up,
City?
Charm City? What's going on, brother?
But yeah, let's get back to the draft. I think we were pretty stuck and it was tied the whole time. So
Yeah.
Let's go with whatever you think, Jeff.
I go to wide receiver. That's the one thing we need.
Strepo is
Let's
like,
go or Restrepo.
and then that'll
I
finish
still would
it.
have gone for Harry Balzac, but
Mason Graham, Zabel, Scadaboo, Restrepo.
I
I'm
mean,
not mad at it.
Harry Balzac would still be better than Shador Sanders. So. All right, what do we want to do? All white guy draft. Oh,
Yeah.
good Lord.
I don't know if Restrepo counts.
KKK, I guess. God, I can't believe I just said that. Oh, fuck. You fucking assholes. Fucking making me thinking that.
Let's see here.
I got to draft all ethnicity groups now, so everybody gets off my back. Give me some Samoans and
4.
some Hawaii, some Australian kickers and shit. What are we doing? My bad.
4. You want another 4-round draft?
Let's see. I will be at the ready with my list on draft day. It'll be interesting how teams value third and fourth rounders. Oh, definitely. Hey,
Yeah,
make sure
definitely.
you keep an eye on Nate, myself, Chris Four Raiders. We're all. I'm definitely going to be on that night hosting a live for sure.
Yeah,
So
me too.
I'm sure people will be popping in and out. Everybody and their brother's going to be doing a live, but I'm still going to do one myself. I don't care.
Yeah, no, it's too important to not.
Yeah. So whoever wants to, if Nate, I don't know what you got planned or if you want to hook up. I mean,
Yeah,
the good thing
definitely.
is it's Thursday night, so we could just do it as a coast to coast show.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll just start a little bit earlier, so by the time the draft starts, we're rolling. We can do a mock draft of the first round, and cement that in stone as that's the one that we're gonna save, and let's see how true it is. But I want to do one where we're picking for every team
Single
in the
team.
first round. Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And keep that, save it. So when the first round is over, we can bring it back up and see how far off we were or how much we were on the money with the picks. I think that'd be
definitely.
Cool. Definitely be cool. Yeah, so I guess that would be the game plan then for draft night. We do our regular Thursday night Raiders Coast to Coast show, but it's a draft special. It's just that we're fortunate that Thursday night's on night.
Yeah.
We'll see anybody that wants to, be in here with us, like Chris, Jay, whatever. Nate, you on Nate. Leo, whatever. I don't care if we fill the room up with 10 people on camera. I could care less. The more the merrier. Now, would it be easy to do it on here, or would it be probably, you think?
Yeah, most likely.
Than OBS. I don't know how many you can host on that.
Quite a few, but it would probably still be easier on here.
Yeah, plus it limits it too, I think, in that way. So we don't go crazy with like fucking 15 people trying to get in.
Right, and we'd be able to react with the same thing at the same time. If someone if we have one person bringing up the draft, we can all look at it at the same time.
Yep.
So yeah.
So that way there, it's not. I'm getting the reaction 10 seconds after you did, and
Right. Exactly.
I'll be able to know just based on someone's facial reactions what we did, if it was good or if it was shitty or what we didn't want.
We'll switch over to private chat so we don't have anybody's comments in the way.
So you can't see anything.
Right, exactly.
Let's see who else just popped in here. How the fuck does Derek Carr keep getting $100 million guarantees? He's injury prone and losing consistently. I don't know. It's going to be his religion and his hype to God and shit that God's fucking taking care of that motherfucker for sure. There's no two ways about that one. Christ. I'll be at a music trivia night during rounds 2 and 3, but I'm stepping outside for our turn. Oh, there you go. Tell the multi-panel on draft night to hold the grade up on the card or paper.
That's a good one, actually.
Yeah, it is actually. Raiders finally will be a team who's always looking for the QB of the future. Brady is definitely doing that. Carr probably has the record for getting coaches fired. You're probably not wrong there. That's for damn sure. People going to be going crazy on draft night. Buckle up. This is probably going to be potentially to be one of the most hostile draft reactions, I think.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's almost like the political issues in this country where everybody's so divided on what they want. There's no bona fide, like, this is the guy we need. Perfect example, I guess, would be like Charles Woodson. We have that pick, and Charles Woodson's available, and everybody's like, that's who we gotta get. Everybody's on board for it. Nobody's saying, no, fuck that. We need this instead. No, this guy's that good. You take him, and it showed that he's that good. There's none of that this year where it's like, we need this guy. You got some data for Shador, shit ton from some reason out of nowhere on Genty. This one wants T-Mac. This one wants Graham. And I think it's a victim of, we've got so many needs on this team.
Yeah, that's so true.
We can go in so many different directions. There's no bona fide, we need this guy, and he'll answer all our prayers. That we're not that one guy away from being great. We're multiple pieces away, which is why we could, it's sort of like, like an exit in LA off the highway. There's so many goddamn different loops and turns, and you can go all over the goddamn place with it, that too, Chop City, he does have one hell of an agent. It's the mascara they're afraid of. It creeps them out. Gabe Onet and Mason Graham are all my favorite defensive tackles in this draft. Cobb is the one that pushed for Musgrave to get replaced with Downing. I'm pretty much anyone but Genty or T-Mac at 6. Okay, I can live with that. Too luxury when we have too many. Yeah, that's just it. We've, like I just said, we've got so many needs on this team that there's so many different ways we can go, which it sucks. It's a bad position to be in. If we were missing like one or two pieces, then we could sit there and say, all right, well, we would like this running back or that defensive end. If those are the two things that we really needed and would put us in a better position. Right now, we need offensive guard. We need running backs. We need wide receivers. We need secondary. We need linebackers. These are all definite needs. The one position we don't really fucking need is defensive ends or defensive tackles. Mason Graham's a luxury if we get him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I can't wait for this draft to be started and let's get rolling into it.
Yeah, I I feel the same way. I think it's going to be such a good draft for us, and I have high hopes for it, to be honest. Um, yeah.
Yeah, Rosetown. If I had to pick out of those two, definitely Membu though. I'm not sold
I
on
like
Camp.
Campbell. Not at 6, but I like Campbell more.
Yeah, yeah. Our D line. I'm not worried about the front line. Our front defense is good.
Yeah.
Ends and tackles. Like I said, if we take a Graham, that's just a pure luxury pick, and that just gives us so much more for a rotational type system with the guys that we've got. I mean, that'd be one of the freshest D lines out there. That's for damn sure. Now, Arnie's in the house. What's up, Arnie? How you doing,
What up,
brother?
Arnie?
Let's see. The need that helps us win this season the most is the need. I feel the need. The need for speed. Oh, Jesus Christ. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. I know he didn't say that line, but still from Top Gun. What's your favorite Val Kilmer movie? I know it's kind of way off track, but
Mm, Top Gun is a good one. He was not a good Batman.
no,
Um, I
I
don't
already
know.
got mine.
It would,
Whatever.
probably would have to be Top Gun.
Top Gun's a good one.
Yeah.
I still think one of his best performances was when he played Doc on Tombstone.
I don't think
I'll
I've
be
seen that one.
around today. You haven't seen that, dude? You got to watch that one. That's the one with Kurt Russell, Bill
Uh-huh.
Paxton, um, Powers Booth. I mean, the stars that were in that's such a great fucking movie. He plays such a
See,
good,
it's like
great role.
2, 3 people already said Tombstone.
Yeah,
Let me see.
I'm your
Maybe I've seen
Huckleberry.
it.
I saw a meme today. It's of Powers Booth, who plays the lead bad guy in that. He's dead now too, but
Hmm.
in the movie, he says at one point to Wyatt Earp and the family, he goes, "Well, bye." In the meme, it's a picture of Val Kilmer's character from Tombstone laying in
Uh-huh.
a bed dying, and it's him down below going, "Well, bye." It's like, oh, dude, too soon, man. Too soon. Yeah, he was good in The Doors. If you ever watched that. Who said Batman? You think Batman was a good movie? Oh,
Yeah, he was not good.
horrible Batman.
Yeah, looking through his IMDb, I'd probably have to say Top Gun. Both of them, both Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick.
Um, there was another movie, very obscure movie that came out in the '80s called Top Secret that he's in. He stars in.
Hmm.
It was kind of on the same premise as like Airplane, where it was just like absolutely stupid, silly humor.
Yeah.
Like everything was literal.
Uh huh.
It's funny. Don't get me wrong, it's funny.
Yeah.
You got to see it because he's in it. He plays like a rock and roll star that's like a secret spy for the United States during World War II. It's actually kind of comical.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, The Doors was good. Yeah, it's
The
definitely gonna
Doors
get.
movie.
Heat was good too. Yeah, Rosetown. Heat was a good one. He wasn't a big character in that one though, so he was still good in it though. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
That LA shootout scene in downtown LA on that movie was fucking insane. Arnie, with a question, what would be the most disappointing draft day result? Not drafting a QB, trading up for a QB, or something else?
The most
Go ahead, Nate.
disappointing draft day result. Uh, Trading away a big player that we have to get number 1 overall and get Shador Sanders. That would be the absolute most disappointing, the most tragic thing that could possibly happen to this franchise.
I got to kind of agree with that trading up for a QB. I think that would be the worst move because two things. One, that means we gave up a shit ton of picks. That means we possibly gave up a player, you
Hmm.
know, and to get what? That nah, no, that would automatically make me grade the draft as an F
Yep.
or an I for
Exactly.
incomplete because I think he just blew the draft.
Yeah.
You know, we're not in a desperate need for a quarterback to start and come in right now.
Right.
There would be no reason why we would want to trade up like that to get, you know, a Cam Ward or a Shedeur Sanders. I'm sorry, not, and I like Cam Ward out of the two. If I had to go for one of them, I wouldn't even move up for Cam Ward. Jaden Daniels, on the other hand, last year, oh, I would have given up the farm for him last year. But people need to keep in mind, if we did that, we wouldn't have Bowers, we wouldn't have JPJ, we probably wouldn't have Glaze either.
Yeah.
Because we would have blown our draft to get that one guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, would we be in the same position we are now? Yeah, probably.
We might
You
be in
know,
a worse position, to be honest.
yeah,
As much as I love Jaden Daniels too, like we might be in a
I
worse
think
position.
we'd have the first pick again. I think we
But
would be the number
do
one
we
pick.
do we give up our next year's first to go get him too? Is another
And
question.
that's the other
Like,
thing.
yeah,
We wouldn't even have a first round pick this year, to be honest with you.
right.
You know?
Yeah, CJ was probably the one that we should have done it for. I don't think he would have taken an arm and a leg like Jaden Daniels would have.
Nope. Are you okay with Milrow in the third? I see a lot of potential in him. Pairing him with Genty and a Chip Kelly. I'm not big on Milrow at all.
Yeah, neither am I.
Rest in peace.
RP Val.
Trading up for QB would suck because it would waste two-way. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure we don't waste a pick on a QB in this deep ass draft. Yeah, in this deeper draft. I added the word ass.
Ass.
Got myself in the mouth. There was one. Oh, we're still in Valcama too. Played a prisoner. I forgot the name, but it was super good. I don't remember. You got me on that one. Where'd you go? I think it crashed. D-line needs a Jalen Carter or Quentin Williams type player. True. CJ Stroud was the pick we could have moved up to get him. Yep. What happened?
My light died, so I was
Wow.
getting it off of my stand.
No, Tyree wouldn't mind that. Question: who is the most hyped prospect in the top 10? Who is the most underrated prospect in the top 10?
Kind of a good question here. The most hyped, probably, like in a good way or in a bad way, is the question.
I think there's two possible answers for that, but I think what's really taking steam right now for the most hyped would probably be Genty now.
For us, I would say, yeah, Genty. I feel like the most hyped overall would probably be Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, and Shedeur Sanders. Those are definitely the four that are very hyped. They're all talked about all the time.
As far as the most underrated prospect in the top 10, I mean, it depends on what top 10 list you're looking at because
I'm just looking at the PFN run right now.
Yeah, what do they got?
Carter is 1, Cam Ward is 2, Travis Hunter 3, Mason Graham 4, Will Campbell at 5, 6 is Ashton Genty, 7 is Membu, 8 is Will Johnson, 9 is Shedeur Sanders, and 10 is T-Mac. I feel like no one's really underrated. Honestly, probably T-Mac off of this list at 10. I feel like he's...
I wouldn't be as opposed to saying Membu either on that one. I know that he's been slated in mock to go in the top 3 to 5 range.
I think Membu is too high. He's at 7 is really high, considering he had a good combine and that's kind of it. He was never this high prior to the combine, and that shoot up is like a little alarming to me.
I think a lot of that has to do with Campbell falling too, though.
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with it because Campbell was the consensus overall number 1 offensive lineman up until the combine, and after the combine, he dropped.
Yeah.
But once they got the measurements on him, and I think people saw how he really was on some of the drills is what threw people off. Membu just shined that day.
Yeah, exactly.
So Smokey says, do you see guys trading up for Kata? Definitely not us, but I wouldn't be surprised if a team does, to be honest with you. I mean, somebody's going to try and do
Yeah,
something.
not us.
There's going to be some movement in this top 10.
I think so too.
It's just a matter of how far before the draft or when in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see. Where's the flag? Only way I'm trading up this year is a couple for Carter or maybe Travis. I'm not trading up for anybody. There's nobody I
Yeah.
want for.
I'm trading back, to be honest.
Rumors had it Ziegler wanted to trade up for CJ Stroud. McDummy said no. Yeah, because I think he wanted to see in the worst way, and that's what happened.
Yep.
We know Ward, Hunter, Carter, and either Sanders or Genty will be going. We need to mentally be ready for that. It might be a blessing if it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see. Ward, Hunter, Carter.
That's 4.
Sanders, Genty. So that's 5 right there.
You said so Sanders or Genty.
Yeah.
So let's assume those 5 then. Let's assume those 5. I'm taking.
That's 5.
No, I know, but it's Sanders or Genty. Like you're saying, those we know for sure. Those 4.
Yeah.
At least
I would still take Graham or trade back. There's no one I'm taking.
I'm taking Graham for sure.
And exactly, Steve. When we've got too many holes to fill, losing draft picks is the last fucking thing we need. Oh, he got the movie. It's called Felon. Never even heard of it. Must have missed that one. Raider Pete says underrated is all the wide receivers. Yeah, you're probably not wrong there, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And those are my favorites in this league. Higgins is the one from Texas, isn't he?
Higgins is from Iowa State.
Who's the one
Texas from Texas is Bond and Marcus Golden.
That's it, Golden. Yeah, wasn't Tate or something? Tate. Wasn't there a Tate in this? Why do that name sound familiar?
Tate Ratledge.
Or am I just? I'm just thinking Golden Tate from years ago with the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That fucking Rosetown underrated is Shiloh. Arkansas as a defensive end reminds me of Crosby, but a little thicker. So you like him thick, huh? Okay. Who are your top 5 prospects in your opinion? Oh, geez. Top 5. I'm not in any order, so I'm just gonna off the top of my head. It's gonna be Ward. Membu's up there. Travis Hunter. Abdul. Did I say Carter?
Not yet.
Yeah, Abdul Carter, Mason Graham. I'd have to go with those 5 right there.
Yeah, mine is gonna.
I don't put Genty or Sanders in the top 5. I just can't.
Mm-hmm. To me, it's probably Travis Hunter at 1, Abdul Carter at 2, Cam Ward at 3. 4 is probably. That's tough. It's probably Mason Graham, and then 5 would probably be. Ooh, that's tough.
Who's number 5? The Patriots.
Number 4 is the Patriots. 5 is the Jaguars.
In all honesty, who did you say was number 4? You would pick?
Number 4 is Graham, because it's Travis Hunter at 1.
That's why I see Member was a top 5 because of the Patriots. That's their missing piece. They got the wide receivers now. They need a tackle.
The Patriots are the team that I have trading out. Like, they're going to be out of the top 5. I think they're going to be the team that could use the picks, the accumulated picks, especially because they paid so much money for all. They're going to need some younger pieces to not be so cap restrained. But yeah, okay. So Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Cam Ward, Mason Graham, and it's a toss up for me between. I really like Will Johnson. I'll put Will Johnson. I'm going to say Will Johnson. I like him a lot.
It's a fair list. Campbell stock is a yo-yo, but he's going to. Yeah, it is a yo-yo because I mean, like I said, he was overall number one offensive lineman, and he's just dropped now.
Yeah.
His name is Landon Jackson from Arkansas. Is going to be good.
Hey, I'm not a big Landon Jackson guy.
Yeah, and you're right too. The wild card is the Patriots. What they do
Yeah.
that will dictate the rest of this first round. What they do at that point. All depends on if they trade out of it, who they trade with. That's the big question.
Mm-hmm.
Who they trade with and what's available at that point, how much that messes up the rest of the draft as far as the projected players that would be taken by teams for sure. Are they going to trade with a team that needs a quarterback or wants a quarterback? I mean, by the time the Patriots get their pick, Ward will be gone. Abdul Carter will be gone. I don't know about who would go next. Oh, Travis Hunter will probably be gone. And they got the number 4 pick. So, I mean, if they're trading with a team that really wants a quarterback that bad and is willing to give up a lot to move up to the number 4, then it's a question of which quarterback do they go? Do they take a shot at drafting Dart at number 4? Or do they go with the more sensible pick because that's where he's slated to fall in the top 10 would be Sanders?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting. It really
Yeah.
is. Let's see if this draft is QB greedy like last year. I just hope we aren't in that party and build the D. Yeah, exactly. I don't want us getting stuck with that bug of like, oh, we need to get that quarterback. No, we don't. Not in the first round. Not at number 6. Let's see. See us taking Shiloh in the 7th. I don't see us taking Shiloh at all.
Nah, hell no.
Pats will trade up in the middle rounds, and it's gonna piss me off. I fucking hate the Patriots. Living in New England's just been the worst for the last 20 years. Fucking. Graham worries me a bit because the talented players around him. I don't know, man. I mean, he's pretty fucking talented himself.
He's
I'm sorry.
very good.
You've ever seen his hands on how fast he moves his hands? I mean, he's almost like a hand combat fighting.
Yeah, he's super nice.
He's good. And he's white, so I guess that's a plus for me.
That's gonna be clipped.
What the fuck? When it comes down to it, do you want a blue chip prospect or do you want to fill out your roster? That's something you really got to ask yourself. Yeah, you're right.
I agree. I think it's just like I want to get the best player possible, but that's smart. Like you could say Genty at 6 would be the best player possible, but like it doesn't make sense for him to take at 6 at that point. Like yeah. I get like he is arguably one of the most talented players, especially at 6. I understand that, but like it doesn't make sense in our team construction as far as right now.
So Ani says he's got a couple questions here, and I think we're pretty much ready to wrap this up. Do you think?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So first question from Arnie: what QBs do you think in the draft that can be AOC 12 as our backup? I'll let you go first.
What QBs do you think in this draft that can be AOC 12? Definitely the top 3. And then after that, maybe Will Howard, just off of knowing the playbook, like being ahead of the game as far as that, and being able to run it effectively, maybe. Then really after him, it's kind of a toss-up on everybody. I think AOC is probably the best or one of the best backup quarterbacks as far as, probably the best backup quarterback in the NFL right now. Because he's teetering on that starting potential every so often. So, I mean, I think we keep him, and we keep him for a long time.
Want my honest opinion on this? I don't think there's anybody that could beat out AOC 12 as our backup. Because here's how I think the progression would go with this. Gino's our starter. AOC 12's our backup. We draft a rookie. I think with that rookie sitting for a couple of years, I don't think you're going to see that rookie go from the number 3 to the backup. I think what's going to end up happening is it's going to be a complete reworking of the quarterback room where that rookie will actually have progressed so much that he now becomes the starter. Gino either falls back to the backup, AOC 12 is the third, or Gino's gone and AOC 12 is still there as the backup. I don't see AOC 12 falling out of the actual backup role. He's got too much invested. The team's got too much invested in him. I think that's how this is going to play out at some point.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody taking him over as the backup. You're not going to take a rookie quarterback like that and make him the backup right away. He's going to sit for a year or two. And I think when he's finally ready, they're going to get him ready to come in and start. They're not going to make him ready to be a backup. You know,
Right.
he needs to be ready to that point where he comes in, takes over the reins, and then we just ride off to the sunset. And where, you know, it's all bubble gums and cotton candy and rainbows going forward for the team, you know. Sort of like playing Madden on the Super Unicorn Rainbow team.
There you go.
Let's see. One more for Arnie here. He says, what are your concerns about McMillan not watching tape and not loving football? Personally, I have no problem with him. First of all, that was from a few years ago. That
was his freshman year.
Yeah. And talent is talent. That's how I look at it. Talent is talent. That shit doesn't worry me as far as whether he watches film or not. If the team drafts him and the right veteran players get in his ear and the right coaches get in his ear, that shit'll be fixed like that. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, same.
No, that doesn't bother me at all. I don't think that's going to be a factor at all. Not with this team, not with this coaching staff,
Mm-hmm.
and not with these veteran players that are there. If you don't think Jacoby Myers is going to be in that kid's face telling him to knock this shit off, or Max saying to him, "Listen, little ass boy, get your shit together."
Yeah.
You know. So, all right, we are going to call it a night.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate you. Tomorrow night, Friday night live. This will be the last one before Turf comes back. He will be back in full action starting next Friday. So this will be the last Friday night one that I host. Are you going to be on with me tomorrow night, Nate?
No, I'm gonna be at the Angel game. It's the Angels home opener tomorrow, so I won't.
Oh, okay. I will be on. I know Leo said he's going to pop in. Chris for Raiders will definitely start the show off with me tomorrow night. It'll be a pull-up show after about the first 45 minutes to an hour. So anybody that wants to get on camera, come on with us. You're more than welcome. So I will make the what do you call it? You just check if you subscribe to me and hit the notifications. Once I put the live up, you'll see it. It'll be sometime tomorrow afternoon. But make sure you go over to Nate's channel, LV Raider 10 and LV Raider Gaming. I posted my new channel for gaming, which I'll put it up again. It's East Coast Raider Gaming. It's a separate channel I have set up strictly for gaming, any and all of games I play. So yeah, so check that out. Saturday night, Raiders last call is myself, Papa Rundown, and Chris for Raiders. We'll be discussing defensive linemen and linebackers throughout the history of the Raiders. Again, this is not a show on Saturday nights where we discuss the current Raiders situation. We start old school and work our way forward. Just going through the history of the team. So last week we did head coaches. This week it's defensive linemen. So
nice.
And, just be on the lookout for when Nate and I pop up and stop playing games and streaming and shit. So that's why I make sure you guys get over and hit the subs on both our gaming channels so you'll know when we're on. So
yes, sir.
Until next time, you all have a good evening and go Raiders.
Yes, sir.